So today we're going to be taking apart this watch further because I messed up earlier on it. Yeah. So I built it, but I did something wrong along the way. So now we're going to just disassemble it again and reassemble. Awesome. So we're going to put the keyless works in this section. Okay. That's the dial hands. Those should stay there. But yeah. Pop on a couple extra lights here. Here we go. Screwdrivers. Nice. Boop. So this is an invicta that I had for a bit. That I owned for a little while. So we're going to start with this front bit here, the dial side. With all this front of GMT side and the moon phase side. So I got this Invicta a little while ago, quite a while ago actually. And I got it on a cruise for $1,100, I believe. And I've always been interested on the inside about what goes on inside the watch. Whereas as we all see what's on the outside and what helps the GMT, along the way. Now, there's a few defects with this watch that I've learned along the way. And this is the fun part of getting a fucking screw out of where it should be. There we go. And this is the cover plate. So as I disassemble this watch, whoops, I will tell you this is a very interesting. I got this pre-released, I believe, is why it was so expensive. But I've had this watch for quite some time now, and I've always wanted to just take it apart and see what was inside of it. To be honest, it was quite a fun experience. That's part of the keyless. Sometimes when I work on watches, I have a harder time saying what goes where. And now the fun bit is the cannon pinion. There you go. So now that's all done. Now we're going to do the keyless works here, which is going to go promptly in this next section. Now I'm fairly new to the watchmaking game. It's an old trade, not many people still do anymore. It's kind of sad, honestly. It's such an interesting topic and procedure you do. I don't know, people are like into big brands like Rolex, but they really never do understand what goes into making a Rolex a Rolex. Now, obviously, we're not working on a Rolex at the moment. We're working on an Invicta, but a very high-end Invicta. Very nice one, too. So that is the keyless works, I believe. I got everything. Yes. Now to work on the back. And the first thing we want to get rid of is this rotor. This rotor is an absolute nightmare to get off. And there are a few defect issues with it. As you can see, there is a few broken spots. I've always had this watch, and it's always had issues in the past with functionality wise. So, yeah. The winding works is what we're working on right now. Sorry, I get focused sometimes, but forgot how deep the screw actually is. So, the first time when I was tinkering with this bit, I always was afraid that something would go wrong with the automatic winding works. Something did go fairly wrong. What was that? That was a weird sound. Something did end up going wrong with that. And, yeah. And I lost a piece. Thank you. There you go. And something did go very wrong. I had lost a piece. First, the automatic work stopped working. And then, secondly, I don't know if I should make this its own little section or I should just continue. I'm just going to set it in there for now. But basically, there was a part that just didn't work right. And it just stuck out weird. I don't know what it did. Maybe it was the years of abuse that it taken. But there was a lever. Oh, shit. Never mind, we're good. There was a lever issue right here. As you can see at the bottom, there should be a bigger gear right here, but there's only a little gear. And in that gear is a few extra teeth, but there's a part that was missing that I had lost, unfortunately. Yes, as you have noticed, we are getting to the fun and nitty-gritty parts. Which is the barrel bridge. Set that off to the side for now. Is that going to fit? Perfectly. So when I was learning how to do this, whilst I still am learning how to do the basic stuff, I learned that you make separate spots for other categories on these. And this is going to be where the barrel bridge stuff goes. Since now we're not going to be using such a big piece, we'll go back to using the black now. We'll go to red to get this JK. We're going to go to pink, I think. Yes, pink works perfectly. And this is the cover plate for the trainer wheels and the barrels. And the pallet and pallet fork bridge. Interesting that some of these screws are blued. At least that's what I like to call them, or titanium screws. But there is a thing about them that I don't like, is if you don't have them sorted or organized, you have no idea what the hell's going on. Kind of like me in freshman, I don't even know the class name, that's how dumb I am. And this is the back plate. Now, the one thing I had the most trouble with was setting this guy in the right place. So now we're going to use another section for the train of wheels. This is part of that. These are the train of wheels. This is what makes the watch go tick and makes it function properly. This is also still part of the barrel bridge. Take this one out first. Swap tweezers because these ones are a little more steady. And so what the barrel is, literally what it is it is what holds the time and allows the watch to function. So we are still in the process of undoing things and stuff. Now we're going to take off the balance wheel, which I like to do before any of the other big stuff that we do, because this watch is a very delicate part of a watch, is the balance wheel. So far I'm learning. I'm not 100% on this. And it is a very beautifully crafted watch, must I say. Ooh, shit, that was scary. And next we are going to get rid of we're going to continue on the train of wheels here. That can be used a little bigger. Now, one thing as I've learned while making these watches, while making these, is that when you take a screwdriver, the reason there's so many screws and screwdrivers, and I switch screwdrivers all the time, is because obviously you've noticed there's a lot of screws involved here. And when there's a lot of screws involved, there's a lot of fuck. You guys didn't see that. That's my bad. I'm just not really good at steady hands. Here we go. My bad. Some things I also like to do is unscrew them with the tweezers, just so, it's just easier for me as a new watchmaker. So you don't have like what I just did, what just happened to you. So this comes off. That is the balance bridge. We're going to get this thing out, pallet wheel, and then the second hand, or the 8-minute wheel. And then finally, we are going to take out the pallet and pallet fork. Now, honestly, my least favorite part about disassembling a watch is the pallet setup, the pallet assembly. Due to this, the pallet is the most delicate part of a watch, as well as the balance wheel. So here's your pallet fork. which needs to be placed on its back. Now here is what I'm not getting. Oh, fuck me. Just like that. Well, don't fuck me. I just... I'll put this with the... this guy here. With the front side assembly. So right now we have the watch disassembled. Took me about 15 minutes to get that done. I'll show you what I used to get this done. The majority of this, these two. I think I used pink and green. These are the ones that I used to get this stuff undone. A beautiful Swiss watch. Swiss tool set here. And to be honest with you, this watch has been very interestingly used and abused. So, might as well on the front side as well. Get rid of this gear here. This basically just turns the, as you can probably see, this turns that little bit there. This little gear here will turn this there. But for this instance, we are not going to need that. So we're going to continue to disassemble this watch properly. We're going to store this in a separate spot just for peace of mind. Obviously, I haven't gone this far before. Oh, I'm silly. Kind of have to open it first to get that to there. Listing gear, where'd you go? Here you are. So this watch has featured a... That needs to be tightened. This watch features a moon phase, which you guys will eventually see me apply here. Which is the hardest part for me, is to assemble the moon phase. Because there's no set groove. Plus there's a bushing as well. I can't explain to you what a bushing is without you being confused. It's just like an O-ring on a car, basically. Okay, so now that we have this whole motherfucker disassembled, you can kind of see what it looks like fully naked. It's a very beautifully done case. Not case, but in general, it is a very pretty watch. Now, while throughout me working on this watch throughout the years, owning this watch, there's been a few issues with it. Now, we'll go over what each box is and what's in the box while we set this stuff up away. Oopsie. Well, let's see here. There you guys. Where you go? There you are. Anyway, where is the other side? Not in there. Where'd you go? Where'd I put it? No. Here is the case for it. Very fake gold. I wasn't too happy about that when I said, he's like, $1,100. No, thank you. Here it is. Now, I got this cloth 2 days ago. It's quite nice. So this watch throughout its time, we're going to do all of this part-wise and take this out, and I'll show you what we're working with here. So just some basic terminology here while we're working. These are called the barrel bridges. So this holds the mainspring barrel. Sorry, mainspring barrel is what they're called. Now this one had a little mishap, which we're going to try to fix today. Not in the video, but I'm going to try fix it on my own. I have to get the arbor out of here. That's the other issue, is the arbor is attached to the main spring itself, which is not an easy feat to get that little peg out. Because once I get the peg out of here, that ain't going to be easy. Basically, throughout the years, I've used this to manually wind with my hand. So, I mean, there's going to be dead skin and stuff, flakes like that, throughout this timepiece. And years of wear and tear on this watch. It's crazy. So we're going to start the reassembly process, which we're going to start with on the back, which is always the most important side. Now, with this watch, I've really had no issues in the past with this. So we're going to start the train of wheels here. That's what I've learned so far, is to work on the wheel train. Because it is what gets you, oopsie daisy. So it gets you where you need to be going. So as I've learned throughout this watch, we're going to oh shit, which way did this go? Right. Whoopsie daisy. Yes, I do remember you now. Sorry, guys, that was my dog. He makes really funny sounds. Oops. So we're starting the reassembly process here. Oh, that's why. Be 100% honest with you guys, I haven't done this before. Shit. I'm experimenting, sorry guys. Okay, so now we got this problem. My bad. I didn't have a photographic memory. Kind of wish I did. At this point in time, I'm quite sure that it went in that way. This is where little baby tweezers come handy. Oh wow, that thing spins like a Beyblade, my god. You know what? We'll worry about that later. Okay, so back to this. What we're gonna do is how I determined. Oh, maybe it is that way. Huh, I'm so silly. I was right. So the we don't want to be searching on the floor for you. Okay, so first off, we're gonna get to where the fuck did it go? I set this here. So this is what your cannon pinion will be resting on. That's what starts off our build for today. That is my washing machine. Grandma is here as well. So that's how we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll with this, which I have learned. It's still a learning process for me. I'm not really a pro at this. Okay, but I've done this movement maybe about 2 or 3 times. Here we go. It's just like a cannon pin guide. Good. So how we do this? First off, I'm doing this backward for my brain. This one's gonna go up here. Yes. Oh, we're not ready for you yet. Okay, barrelarbor.com, guys. That is probably what I got wrong last time. Look at that. Look at that. Look at us do this stuff together. I know there's probably a specific way for that to go. I don't know why I have the farmersonly.com song stuck in my head. But it's not farmers only, it's barrelarbors.com. You don't have to be lonely at barrelarbors.com. Beautiful. Now, as we set in these pins here, these securing pins, as I call them, this is to secure down your minute wheel. Although usually that pinion, that center wheel we just put in, is usually the seconds wheel. This one does not have a seconds hand, nor does it have a hacking feature. Now, usually the movements I work on are Swiss movements. Some can argue Invicta is Swiss, and I wouldn't disagree with you. Just get in there, all right? Get in there like it's your mom and dad. Hopefully you can't hear that. Yeah. But hopefully this video shall maybe uploaded. I don't know. Um, sorry, I have allergies. But yeah. So I'm going to say that's your barrel wheel. Not your barrel wheel. Your center wheel. as it's called, quite obviously.